Hello, Internet, and thank you for joining me in this very hot room that I'm in. Recently, I watched Inside Out 2, and it was just okay. Honestly, if I am being completely real with you, I've got to say that this is kind of one of those movies that I wouldn't normally talk about, but it's recent, and I really kind of want to grow my channel a little bit more than the 3 subscribers I currently can't have. So we are trying to talk about topical movies today. So in Inside Out 2, it's obviously the sequel to the first Inside Out, which came out, I don't know how many years ago because I don't have a script for this, but it's been several years, and uh, I just want to summarize my thoughts by saying that the biggest thing that this movie struggles with is that there are just too many characters. A lot of reviewers are saying things like, I think it's Envy is the character that just doesn't get any screen time. And that's true, but it really is just a symptom of there's too many characters and they're trying to do too many things with those characters. Like there's a group of older girls that Riley, the main character, that all of the other emotion characters live inside the head of. The older girls are trying to like incorporate her into this hockey group, and Riley wants to be incorporated into that group, but she's kind of torn between these potential new friends and her old friends that are, I guess, moving or something, or they're going to a different high school because they're all turning 13, and that's when you go into high school in the Pixar universe. I could have sworn I was like 15 when I went into high school, but my experience is not everyone's experience, apparently. Either way, the big problem with the movie is just that there's too many characters. But there are several things that the film does right. I won't get into spoilers in this, but they depict a lot of mental stressors very well. Not just the cute little vignettes where it's like in the first one you had the train of thought and it's a literal train with literal tracks and it can be derailed and stuff. Not just that stuff. Like they actually get into some more serious topics about anxiety, about shyness, about all these other things. And the biggest one that I wanted to call out was ennui, because ennui is actually useless. There, she basically becomes a brat whenever ennui is on the screen, and it just didn't need to be there more than any of the other characters. But anxiety is kind of the show stealer, and they do a great job at depicting what anxiety does to people. And I thought that that was really fascinating. Uh, and this runs counter to what all of those critics I was mentioning before said, that uh, where they said that Inside Out 2 really didn't need to exist because it just treaded the same ground as Inside Out 1. And I don't feel like that's the case. The problem is that they just stuffed too much into this one movie, and it's not able to focus on any one thing for too terribly long. And so I really feel like this would have benefited from the monsters at work sort of treatment, where they might break out each emotion in their own episode. And they can even cover like the same amount of time. Like Riley could still go to the hockey camp that she goes to, and they could have each episode just take place with a different emotion or a new emotion or something. I do feel like the road trip sort of model gets really tired. In the first one, they Joy and Sadness left the control center or whatever, and that meant that Riley couldn't be happy or sad for the entire movie. And then they had to make kind of the road trip back, and there was some fun stuff in there, but it wasn't the best Pixar movie, because I feel like this is a very good concept. This is a concept that has a lot of legs to it. And I really feel like it would need a longer period of time to flesh this out. A lot of people are talking about like, oh, well, this might be in Inside Out 3. And to be honest, I don't want an Inside Out 3. I want an Inside Out inside Riley's head for 6 episodes type of thing, or 8 episodes, 10 episodes, or whatever. You know, we can break that out however you want. But I think the concept really hasn't been done justice yet. But it is a very good concept. And if you're kind of looking for a thumbs up or thumbs down on this movie, because I don't give, numerical rankings to these things, I'd say, yeah, give it a shot. I would suggest that you watch it, and probably watch it twice, because there's so much that I'm sure I didn't catch everything, and I'm sure that repeat viewings might be better of it. But honestly, I think you should temper your expectations, because everyone thinks that, a Pixar movie needs to be a grand adventure. But honestly, my favorite movie of theirs that they've made in the past several years, again, no script, so I'm not going to give you a date range here, but the most recent Pixar movie that I found myself enjoying was Luca. So that being a smaller story in a small fishing village, and it's just about 2 friends learning to be 2 friends. I thought that was a very nice movie. I thought it got thrashed by critics for literally no reason. And if you want to see me do a full breakdown of that, leave a comment for me, and I can break that down with an actual script. And if you want to see me break Inside Out 2 down with an actual script, I can do that. So these are just some quick thoughts that I had while I'm waiting for another video to compile. I'm waiting for one to be edited, and I'm waiting for even a third on scripting. So I'm just recording some real off-the-wall comment, or real off-the-wall thoughts rather, here, and I'm getting rambly and repeating myself.